Hello and welcome to the Printable Cuttable Creatables YouTube channel. My name is Lynn, or LV Handcrafted here on YouTube, and today what I thought I would do is show you this hack that will make these Halloween treat bags super fast and easy to create, but I'm also going to show you how you can use this same hack to take a really simple project and elevate it. So I'm using this bundle. It's the Halloween treat bag bundle, and there are 5 different characters that you can assemble into these cute little treat bags. This hack may not work necessarily for all of them, but it definitely works really well for the jack-o'-lantern. So let me show you how this comes in. You have actually, if you look to the side here, 3 different pieces. There's the base, the bag itself, so this will cut and score lines for assembling a 3x4 treat bag. It's got some really nice closure detail too, so I really love that. Then you've got this panel here, which is actually the same size as your front of your bag. So you can see you can layer that piece on here. And then we've got, as a third element that can get cut, the jack-o'-lantern face. So for example, if you were to cut the bag out of, let's say, plain white cardstock, you could cut just the front panel out of black or out of orange, just to save on your orange cardstock. And then you've got the black that you can layer in. Here's what I'm going to do, though, to show you how you can cut and score everything in one pass. So this is going to make it a one-pass cut through your Cricut machine, and this hack is going to save you time if you have to make a lot of these bags. So I'm going to position the face where I want it on the front of the panel or front of the bag, select those 2 layers with the face on top, and then use the combine subtract feature. So that actually cut the face out of the bag. And literally, when we send this to our Cricut, that's exactly what the Cricut will do. It's going to cut that jack-o'-lantern face right out of the bag. Then I did the same thing where I attached the score lines to the bag, and that way, when everything gets sent to the Cricut machine, then it's going to cut and score everything in place. And here's what it looks like. Okay, so now even though my machine did put the score lines in, the quick hack is you can actually just put black cardstock behind your jack-o'-lantern face, or you can put some clear acetate, and that way, when the person who gets this treat bag receives it, they can actually see the candy inside. So how fun is that? Now, as I was saying earlier, my Cricut did put the score lines in, but I'm going to reinforce those score lines because my scoring tool isn't the best. So I don't think it actually put really deep score lines in. I'm just going to score right over them again and make sure that those are nice deep score lines. That way, when I go to fold this, it will have a really nice crisp edge to it. And all I'm doing is I'm lining up those score lines in my, this is actually the cutting track, but the cutting track for me is easier to line things up in because I can tell that the score line begins and ends in the same track. Now, on the sides of the bag where the gusset is, there's a little bit of a tricky diagonal score lines. I'm just not going to reinforce those. Those are going to be pretty fussy to fold anyways, because this middle fold here has to be a valley fold, and those angled folds have to be valley folds too. So just kind of needs to be, you just need to massage it a little. You just need to work with it a little, and then you'll be able to get it to fold so that you have a nice triangle right at the bottom there where the gusset of this bag is. So just pinch, have some patience and just pinch it, but otherwise everything else is a mountain fold. And you've got a glue tab that's going to hold everything together, 4 glue tabs at the bottom, which makes for a very nice strong bottom or base to your bag. So as I mentioned, this could be as simple as putting black cardstock behind here, and then you've got your jack-o'-lantern face and you can be done. Or what I am going to do is I'm going to back this with some acetate on the front, and I'm going to put some black cardstock on the back, but on the inside of the bag. That way, when the bag is full of treats, then you can see through and you'll see the treats through the jack-o'-lantern face. But when the treats have all been enjoyed, then you can still see the black behind there, and you can still appreciate the jack-o'-lantern design that's been cut into the front of this little bag. So to attach my acetate, I am using a dotty tape runner right around where the jack-o'-lantern face has been cut out, because it's just small little dots of adhesive. And so those little dots of adhesive can really work their way around all of those curved elements. And then I'm going to use just regular dry tape runner all the way around the rest of the back of this panel. And whatever adhesive you end up using, do make sure that you are burnishing it really well, pressing it down so that you can really get all of the air knocked out of that. And that's mainly because in some areas, especially high humidity areas, dry adhesive tape can actually dry up completely and then lose its stickiness. And if there is any air trapped there, you're more likely to experience that. Now, with this black piece of cardstock that's getting attached to the inside back of the bag, there's this little cutout here. I'm going to trace it with my pencil and then just cut this by hand. I don't want to cover that up completely because that's actually part of the closure mechanism for this little treat bag. So I'm just going to carefully use my craft knife so that I can transfer that little aperture opening, and that way I can still close this bag the way that it was intended to be closed, which I think is really clever little mechanism because it's sort of self-closing. You don't need any ribbon, you don't need anything special. You just tuck the little tab inside there and you're good to go. So I will glue this piece down, and truthfully, the jack-o'-lantern face, it might be a little bit big because I can actually see a little bit of the gusset when this is completely closed, but that doesn't really bother me a ton. If it bothers you though, you can always scale that jack-o'-lantern face down a little bit before you subtract it from the front of the bag when you go to cut it. So just a little tip there, because the gusset here, it's a little bit wide, and so it actually is slightly visible, really only when the bag is closed and it's sort of pinched in. So the bottom can be a little bit tricky to attach. I like to attach the back flap to the two side flaps first, and then I fold the front flap last. That way you have a nice finished edge on the front. And I use the flat edge of my bone folder to really try to burnish that so that it makes nice firm contact. And liquid adhesive is really good for all of the glue tabs because it'll be nice and permanent. You don't want to risk, especially once you load some treats into here, you don't want to risk the bag falling apart and the treats falling out. So there you have it, our nice clear see-through bag, and with the closure and the black of the jack-o'-lantern face still being a nice feature. So I hope you enjoyed this project and these tips for taking a hack that makes for a really simple project, and as well elevating that really simple project into something even more awesome. Links to everything will be in the coordinating blog post if you want to check out the supplies that I used today. Thanks so much, and until next time, happy crafting and have a fabulous day. Bye!